What simple life hack should everyone know? Sometimes changing your pillowcase daily can help with acne. I use a clean t-shirt over my pillow to accomplish the same effect. To add to this, a lot of people wash their face when they get up but not before bed. Washing before you sleep will help keep the pillowcase cleaner and prevent breakouts. You don't need to apply a ton of night cream or anything, just a medicated pad with salicylic acid will do. Your body will put moisture back on while you sleep and you'll wake up with a less oily face. Do your morning routine and make sure to add moisturizer as needed in the morning instead. Wash your sheets with unscented sensitive detergent too. The perfumes are sometimes an irritant to the delicate skin on your face. If you want to wear something white or light in color, wear underwear that matches the color of your skin, not white or light gray. It hides better under white than white does. Read the 3- and 4-star reviews for the most reliable information on Amazon items. And 2-star reviews for books. Seeing what people dislike tells much. Try on your favorite to see. Honey does not go bad. If it has gone solid, it has just crystallized and can become liquid again with just a little heat. Put the container of solidified honey in a container of hot water. To confirm which circuit breaker is associated to an outlet, plug in an old radio and turn the volume up before you flip the circuit breaker. You can also do this with a vacuum if you are like me and don't have a radio. Glue a tiny mirror over the picture of you on your driver's license so when you hand it to the police, they get confused and arrest themselves instead. If you put something down temporarily, say out loud, "I've put the screwdriver by the microwave," or whatever. This engages many more areas of the brain, particularly the language centers, which creates a richer memory, making it less likely you'll forget where you put it. In a similar vein, I will say it out loud when I turn stove burners off, unplug my hair straightener, etc. I've found this helps me eliminate those moments where I leave the house or am in bed and I'm suddenly like, "Did I leave that on?" My wife and I made this a ritual due to her OCD. Anytime we're going out, I'll say to her, "Hey, I unplugged the iron." Saying it in a funny voice helps too, because it's easier to remember that Shrek told her the iron was off. For the iron thing, I've heard a therapist recommend to actually bring the iron with you, to be completely sure that it is off. Great. I forgot to say, I left the iron at the table, and now it's at McDonald's, probably wondering why the ice cream machine is broken. When moving house, always set up your bedroom, make the bed first so when you're exhausted and just had enough you can fall into bed. Nothing worse than being exhausted and having to make the bed before getting into it. Also, if you have time, plan where do you want the furniture's boxes of your stuff in the house. Placing it in the right room straight away helps a lot. And number your boxes, unpack the highest numbers first. Generally it's the stuff you were using up to the point you left. If you want someone to get more mad, you tell them to calm down. If it's your girlfriend, wife, and you really want her to calm down, tell her she's acting like her mother, and that her sister would never behave this way. You're going to sleep outside if you do this. This 100% works if you're married. Source: am divorced. If you throw a house party where you, as the host, plan on getting quite drunk, start the cleanup while drunk. Trust me, waking up to a clean house when you're hungover is fantastic. Drunk you will barely remember, and sober you has so much less to worry about in the morning. And if you do it near the end of the night, a few others might just help out cause they are drunk too. Hungover me wants to know why drunk me put the cat in the dishwasher. Drunk me answers, the cat was dirty. Don't take life advice from internet strangers. If I denied your advice, would I be listening to you or ignoring you? Yes. Manners and general politeness will get you far and become the norm with but a small amount of practice. I'll add to this. Be especially nice to receptionists. They are the gatekeepers. Whether you're there to interview for a job or attempt to sell something to the owners, if you are rude to the receptionist, you can kiss your chances goodbye. This applies doubly over the phone where body language and facial expressions are non-existent. Make sure your tone isn't condescending or else your message is going in the trash if it isn't mission critical. Source: I am a receptionist. Interviewers always stop by my desk to get my seal of approval before moving forward in the hiring process. I have vetoed individuals for being rude snob and once for leaving a mess in the bathroom. My vote counts. If there's a jar or container you can't open, run the lid under hot water for 30 seconds. Dry it so you can get a good grip, then open. Never had this not work. For products that you want to avoid heating temporarily, use a bottle opener to pry the side out. The goal is to break the vacuum seal. Same can also be accomplished by hitting the top of the lid with the butt end of the knife. Basically anything that breaks the vacuum seal will help. Not necessarily a hack, per se, but learn some basic knife skills. The amount of time you will save chopping vegetables a few times a week minimum for the rest of your life far outweighs the amount of time it takes to learn. Plus you can use the extra time to keep the kitchen clean, and that makes everything less stressful while you're cooking and makes the cleanup faster as well. When you're in a group of people and they start laughing, see who looks at each other. People look at the people they feel closest to when laughing. And then there is me, who looks down. I love you too, Floor. When you're cooking and the recipe calls for onions and garlic, don't put the garlic into the pan until the onion is nearly translucent. Garlic cooks way faster than onions do. If you throw them in at the same time, it won't taste as good, or the garlic will burn. It literally takes 30 seconds for minced garlic to cook. Also, if you're a home cook, sharpen your knives often. On the topic of cooking, when a recipe calls for garlic, double the amount it calls for. Ditto for vanilla. Meanwhile, you can cut the sugar in most recipes by 1/3 easily, and sometimes 1/2. That way you're tasting the other ingredients, not just the sugar. If you fucked up, admit it, unless you are talking to cops. But in most situations, just admitting how you were wrong and accepting responsibility is so much easier than trying to blame someone or something else, or make up an excuse. When you own the mistake, it puts the onus back on the other person to accept that, be mature and move on. If you try and deny or shift blame, it forces that person to examine those reasons, and if they are BS, come back at you, dragging the process out and leading to unpleasant call-outs and confrontations. Always poop on company time. This way, at the end of the year, you will have earned like 2 workdays pay by pooping. Hence you will be a professional pooper and also less money spent on toilet paper at home. Plus, you don't do your best work when you're holding in your shit. Pooping at work is really in everyone's aligned interests. If you bring something to someone's house that you don't want to forget, put your keys with it, assuming you can trust the people there. Also, get a Tile or similar Bluetooth tracking device so you never lose your keys or phone again. Regularly change the oil in your car. On time. Do it. Will help it last longer. My first car I owned when I lived alone, I had it for a full year before the guy I was dating asked me when I last changed the oil. You mean it has to go to the mechanic even though it's working fine? Don't be like that, folks. If you have a spare minute or are just playing video games or on a computer at home, take a few minutes to just pet your dog or cat and really appreciate them. A phrase I heard somewhere just really stuck with me. Pets are only a part of your life, but you are your pet's entire life. Fuck, where is my dog? Remember to say out loud wherever you put your dog. You don't actually need to keep contact with your family. If a relationship with them causes any anguish, you're allowed to cut them out. Their failures aren't yours. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. Turn your bed mattress when you renew your blanket. Through time, your mattress will deform and that can make you sleep worse. Brush your teeth more thoroughly before bed after you are done eating and drinking for the day. Morning brushing is important too, but more so for fresh breath, while evening cleaning will prevent bacteria from breeding and damaging your teeth and gums. No matter how good a person you are, at some point you will be the bad guy in someone else's story. You can't please everyone, and you shouldn't try to. Be a good person, and have friendships with people you can respect and look up to. Whenever you have a time to be somewhere, aim to be there 15 minutes early, to allow for time snags or for traffic. People respect punctuality. Get into a routine of stretching your hip flexors and chest if you sit for long periods. Absolute game changer for people who suffer with chronic lower back pain as a result of being hunched over a desk. If you have trouble choosing, flip a coin. While you're waiting to get the result, your mind automatically starts to wish for what it wants. Then you can choose easily. Train yourself to always keep an eye out for things that need to go in the direction you are going. If you are about to go downstairs, does any item nearby need to go with you? Perhaps a cup can be brought to the sink on your way to the bathroom. Do you know any simple life hack? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.